I was all but done my video and my phone crashed. This phone, I'm telling you what, the phones are not as durable as they used to be. Remember the old Blackberries? You just drop them, run over them.
Is this your new phone?
Yeah, it's a terrible phone. So Eddie Bear and I just left. We just left Northfield. We were going to go out to eat. Honestly, I had a plan to go out and eat after. I just wasn't feeling it. I was a little bit tired. You know, the babies played me out a little bit. All the babies we went with today. And then come in here tonight. I didn't have much of a rest this afternoon. I was on pins and needles watching Jailbird jog like you. And quite frankly, just super pleased with how tough this filly has become. You know, it's so tough. Get parked, I don't care if you're in a straight line. You get parked to the half in 55 seconds, get to the lead, just looking for just a mini breather, and just out comes the favorite to take a run at you. Now, if there had been a longer shot, come out first over possibly, who knows? Maybe James grabs a little breather and we're 1-2. But as it turns out, wasn't ready to take on the favorite, and then I thought she was third, and we ended up getting voted out for third and ended up fourth. So raced as good as she could. There's a filly that gets parked to the half and trots in 52-1 today. Can't be too upset with that. Next up was Foxy Seaside. She raced great again. 53 is just an insane mile over this track, and for that filly to go that kind of trip was just crazy. It's got go straights on, and I clear to the front, and Chris wants to remove. I let him go. We go, whatever. We're rolling right along, and I think he was going to park Danny. Danny's horse just power bombed him. Coming to the half, just rolled right past him, sucked all the air out of her lungs, and I said, you know, Foxy's going to pace this backstretch probably a little better than the far turn. I tried to get her going, and I was just spinning my wheels too. I backpedaled, walked her back into the 3-hole, and she fought hard to be third. 54 flat. Can I help you?
Can you help me turn this up a little bit?
Nope, not until after my video's done. You're going to have to hit pause and wait for a second. So Foxy Seaside ends up third. 54 flat. 54 flat she paces tonight. She raced great. Next up, Rock Shining Star. Just race him here. Just going to race him at Northfield. They're going 50. He's second over. You cannot back this horse back up into a hole. 9 times out of 10, he would shut his air off, and I would almost guarantee there's some redness and bruising in his palate tonight. There's nothing you can do. You try to go forward, they go 26 seconds. Just race him here. He raced great here last week. We'll just race him here for right now until we get this horse back on track. Quite frankly, it's hard to say, well, we'll just ship him 4 hours to Dayton in horse, truck, and trailer, and then 4 hours back. It's impossible to keep a horse fresh shipping 4 hours every single week. So we're going to race him right here. I know a lot of people are saying, well, why don't we, this horse is going to race good in the winter. He got over this track great last week. Let's just race him back here next week and see how he races. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, Judy's Money. She is such a tough filly. That leg has been bothering her for 3, 4, 5 weeks. She was off 2.5 weeks and galloped and trained up before Delaware, made a break in Delaware. So when was her last actual charted fast mile? Quite a while ago. And then, we trained her 6 days ago and she bled a little bit. So I said, well, I guess we'll just put her on Lasix. So first start on Lasix, hasn't gone a race mile, a clean, flat race line in 4 or 5 weeks. Come out tonight, she post-braided great. I let her go out of there. She does what she does best. 2-year-olds on a half-mile track. I was a little leery going into the first turn, but she put the 2 horse in a bad spot, and he ran. Now I got the favorite in behind me. I saw Ronnie's horse score down. I wasn't confident that horse would trot well tonight, but I got Hugh Beatty right in my back. There's nothing I can do. As we're coming to the half, I got to steal a cheap quarter. We're coming to the half. We're getting a cheap half. I'm saying, well, I know she's been off for 5 weeks. I know this is her first start on Lasix. I'm well aware of everything that is going on. Half pops up 1 minute and 3/5. I said, geez, that's got to be pretty close to the great equalizer, right? That's got to be pretty close to advantage us. Danny's coming first in with what looks like a long shot, but it's one of Annette Laurenson's. The favorite's still on my back. There's still horses in play, but man, I'm barely taxed getting into the last turn. I guess if I was going to run it back, I'd let her rock getting into the last turn. I don't think it was wise to let Danny get to my bridle. I just felt like if I was save, that Judy would have just enough to hold off Danny and hold off the horses. But my biggest danger is right here on my bumper. We get to head of lane. I kick the earplugs out. She trots her butt off all the way to the wire. Did every ounce of everything she could. And ends up fourth. But ends her ears are up, going back to the burn. She's playing and she's leaping around and playing around. She feels good about herself. She raced good. It was a great mile from that filly, and if you knew everything that went into that, the work that Michelle put into that horse, icing her leg twice a day, working on her, jogging her, getting her good. Then Jason having the vet come in, staying there with the vet, going over the filly all afternoon until they felt that they got her right. And then the horse herself, to just persevere through a year when she came out of nowhere at the start of the year. And then halfway through the year from hitting that leg, there was quite a hematoma there. This is reminiscent of Gypsy Hill. If she'd have made a break or just been terrible tonight, you'd be like, she did what she could. She's a tough filly. For her to go out and race the way she did, she's a very tough filly. Anyway, that was it for today. Excited about the fillies. You guys see the shares are up now. I am a little confused. With the flyer buckets, every year, I guess the flyer horses, you guys left Arrowhead Hanover alone till the end of April of his 2-year-old season. That's how I ended up with a bunch of shares of him. You left Austral Hanover alone until late in the season. That's how I ended up with a lot of shares of him. I guess you guys just don't believe in flyers. I don't know. I thought that those two horses in particular, most definitely that big black beautiful Tactical Landing colt would sell out right away, and the Ontario bred horse, I'm not going to leave her too long. You guys leave him alone. I'm going to give myself a Christmas present. Just one sec, sweetheart. I'll just give myself a Christmas present. That's Ready for Landing's brother. So I don't mind. As you can see, there's some shares popping up here and there. People trading shares in that they had. Hey, could I sell these back to the stable and buy shares in this horse or that horse? Absolutely. We're trying to facilitate everybody's requests. Sometimes we just can't. But in many cases we can. And that's exactly what we're doing. So, for right now, I am done for the day. It's 9 o'clock. I have 2 emails to write. I'll talk about one of them tomorrow. I have a bunch of emails to respond to. And then I'm quietly starting to go through the Harrisburg catalog. I looked at London. I'm going to continue to look at London. I'll tell you what I did. I went through the AI list first, Dave's AI list, and looked at a couple of horses. The one horse that he liked, the pedigree might have been a little light, but his video was great. And then another horse he liked, I didn't love the video, but his pedigree was great. And honestly, there's lots of Ontario breds in Harrisburg. I did find one today that I liked. I think it's overwhelmingly likely that it'll be a Bulldog Hanover colt. I know somebody said, why would you buy Bulldog Hanover? Cattle Wash is already, the horse in Ontario. That's why. Because I don't want to pay $140,000 for an $85,000 horse.
Daddy,
I had this...
how much longer?
2 minutes, you. I'll take that phone and I'll run it over with the car. You give it up.
I didn't fall for that.
You didn't fall for that?
No.
Uh-huh. And that's part and parcel to the conversation I had with, that long conversation I had with one of our clients. A great conversation where I'd simply said, there's a very good argument there. They said, well, it doesn't really matter what you pay for a Ready for Money or a in range because, they're likely worth it. Well, I couldn't disagree more with the statement. A couple of people had said that to me. Well, you can pay a little bit more for an in range. I'm sorry. In range is not Muscle Hill. Nice horse, but the pedigrees can only take you so far. And if you're overpaying for all of them, you can overpay for the best one. Doesn't matter. You're going to get all the money. But it's the other horses I don't. And it isn't relative. At the end of the day, hey, you. Shh. At the end of the day, it's very simple. We're trying to find value. I don't find much in regards to in range. They just cost a lot of money. Now, as I say that, I plan on going to the Buckeye Sale next week. I wasn't going to begin with, but as it turns out, I have Arrowhead Hanover in Dayton in race 8 or 9. Well, 30 minutes away from Dayton Raceway is the sale, the Buckeye Sale. So I will be going to the Buckeye Sale. And if there's any value to be found in horses that I find that that I think are very good quality, on crossing the line of deals, then I very well may buy one. I just don't see that happening, though. One, I don't see me buying a horse, but it's possible. And two, as far as Ian ranges and looks and ready for monies are concerned, there wasn't a ton of value in the select sale, and I don't expect that trend will change heading into the Buckeye sale. So as it comes to Harrisburg, you do have the Captain Treacherouses. There's a couple that look great. I loved one of the Pebble Beaches. I loved him in Lexington, and I don't even think I was the underbidder. Lyle, Amy's dad, loved him. We were sitting there watching him go. He liked him. I liked him. I was bidding on him. I thought we could get him, and then it just evaporated. I don't even think we were the underbidders. A lot of these horses we have to see in person also. First off, let's focus on the ones that we got, all right? Let's focus on the Ohio breds and the Lexington horses we got, the homebreds that are coming in right now. Get them broken, jogging. Maybe get a video out to you guys so you can have a look at them again. I did take videos today. I threatened you with that. And if I remember, I will post all of them. They're only like 20 seconds. But I will post all of them tonight for you. Anyway, that's enough of that. Amy asked me to get her some juice. I'm going to get her juice right now. Addie wanted me to turn her phone up. I'm going to do that. I'm going to run in, get the juice, turn the phone up, and then I am done for the evening. You guys have
and you have to give me a snack and that.
I have to give you what?
Snack.
I'm not giving you a snack. You just ate, you little turd. Here. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful rest of your... Shh. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Goodbye.
I will talk to you all very soon. Take care.